for you, wherever you might be. Having ourselves a pretty good day out there. Mostly sunny skies after an absolutely delightful weekend. Broadcasting today here from Radio Center, where taking a look outside, we currently have 72 degrees. At the airport, it is 71. Downtown Midland looking at 73. Downtown Bay City is looking at 72. We have a southwest wind, 7 miles per hour. Barometer working its way up, 30.28. It is rising. And 61% is our humidity. So we're getting a little bit of dry down. Really helps when you don't have the fog. Saturday morning, extremely foggy. And as a result, things just kind of went slow as we moved through the day. We had a lot of drying to get done before we could get some things harvested out there. Yesterday morning wasn't as bad in some areas. And now taking a look at this morning, once again, we did have a little bit of fog here and there, but for the most part, it was pretty nice weather. And dry down is moving right along. So by the noon hour here, within the next half to 45 minutes, we should begin to see a little bit more in the way of progress. But one thing that isn't progressing is sugar beet harvest. Things are a little bit slow there. And obviously, it's going to be a little slow with these really warm temperatures in the forecast to take us into at least the middle of the week. Things will begin to cool down just a little bit as we approach the weekend. And then moving into the weekend, we're going to have temperatures that will struggle to make it into the low 50s for a high. But the other extreme is the nighttime lows are not going to be bitterly cold, especially in the Great Lakes Bay area, areas to the immediate north, and then, of course, the south. Now, you get a little bit further north, the northern 25% of the lower peninsula. By the weekend, we are going to see some pretty chilly temperatures and across the upper peninsula as well. But the cold weather is going to be relatively short-lived, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. We have a high-pressure system over Lake Erie. That's the reason why we have had the weather. That high has been drifting to the south from well up into Canada, through the Toronto, Canada, the Niagara Falls area, and now over Lake Erie. That high pressure is going to drift all the way down into West Virginia as we move through the next 24 to 36 hours. And then eventually it'll drift from West Virginia through Virginia and then along the East Coast, the mid-Atlantic states there. So that's the reason why once we get into the second half of the work week, this nice weather is going to give way for a pretty substantial cold push from Canada, from the western Canadian Rockies. That cold air is going to drop down behind a front, which will be moving through toward the tail end of the work week, and it'll deliver some shower activity initially to start with. And then as we roll through the weekend, a little bit more lake effect type activity. Because the water is going to be quite warm and that air is going to be rather chilly. So that is going to generate some lake effect activity along with a north and a northwest breeze. So it's definitely going to feel like late October. But then, as we said, things are going to begin to change. So what are we looking at? Mostly sunny skies. We should peak out at right around 82 degrees with a southwest wind right around 10 miles per hour. Tonight, we should see clear skies, 59. Sun will set this evening at 7:16, rise tomorrow morning at 7:36. And again, with the limited number of sunny days, not quite as long, we're going to begin to see a little bit more overall color change in our wooded areas, especially in the northern part of the state. During the day tomorrow, 85, mostly sunny skies. The record high temperature for the most part over the next couple of days is in the upper 80s. I don't think we're going to break any records, but we are going to come within 3-4 degrees of those records. Sunshine tomorrow, 85 for a high, 65 for a low tomorrow night. So very mild. Wednesday, still in that 80-degree range, 84. Sunshine to start, but then clouds will be on the increase. And Wednesday night, we're only going to drop down to about 67 for a low. We'll have a south wind on Wednesday, gusting up to about 25 miles per hour. That is the reason why that the frontal system is going to be approaching. So those wind speeds are going to begin to pick up coming out of the south. 25 mile per hour wind gusts on Wednesday. And then after midnight on Wednesday night, early morning hours on Thursday, we're going to begin to see some shower activity. I think the high temperature on Thursday is probably going to be the overnight low on Wednesday night. And then as we go through the day on Thursday, that temperature slowly is going to be dropping. Real good chance of seeing shower activity because of that front. But then late Thursday night, early Friday morning, we'll see some clearing. 50 for a low, 52 for a low on Thursday night. And during the day on Friday, we're still going to see some showers around, but we'll have some breaks in the shower activity and a little bit of sun as well. 62 for a high on Friday, 42 for a low on Friday night. Again, isolated shower activity. And during the day on Saturday, we'll see some sun, but we'll also see some shower activity. 55 for a high on Saturday, 40 for a low on Saturday night. And then on Sunday, 54 for a high, and once again, about 40 for a low. Still a chance of some showers around. Now, the long-range outlook starting about the 8th of October and running right up until about the 20th of October is for our temperatures to resume above normal values all the way through the period beginning with this coming weekend. After Sunday, precipitation values will be below average for this time of the year. So kind of interesting the way things are going to be shaping up. We'll just have to see how everything does shape up. More on the weather as we go through the broadcast. Standing by, Gary Kaufman over at Star of the West, Doug Klein from Oppenheimer. We'll take a look at the markets and kind of get an idea of what in the world happened on Friday. All of that coming up. But first, we want to remind you, the weather forecast brought to you by the folks at Nutrien Ag Solutions.
Nutrien Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrien Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrienagsolutions.com.
Say, do you want to unlock the secret to higher yields? If you're applying dry fertilizer, the key to better yield potential is Titan XC. Titan XC is a fertilizer biocatalyst that unlocks and releases the bound-up nutrients in granular fertilizer, promoting better root uptake and plant growth. Drive performance this season and beyond. Release more nutrition. Expect better results with Titan XC. For more information, visit lpi.ag/unlock or contact your Nutrien Ag Solutions crop consultant today. Again, this reminder coming up tomorrow, it's the soybean harvest equipment field day that was scheduled a couple of times in September, but the weather just didn't allow it to happen. It is going to happen tomorrow. The weather, as we've mentioned, is really going to be nice. Over in the Yale area is where the event is going to be from 11:30 until 3:30 in the afternoon on Kilgore Road, 7875 Kilgore Road in the Yale area. Again, the soybean harvest equipment field day, that will be held tomorrow. Joining me right now, Gary Kaufman over at Star of the West. And Gary, first of all, happy October to you.
Yeah, we're in the last quarter of 2023, Terry.
I don't know where the first three quarters went, but I'll tell you, some producers are kind of glad that maybe we can be optimistic because we've had a very interesting run here for about the first 9 months of the year, haven't we?
Oh, indeed we have. Volatility, it continues to be a lot of volatility in this market, Terry. I mean, when you start the calendar year and fast forward to where we're at today, a lot of pricing opportunities. Hindsight's 2020, as we always say. Wish I shoulda, coulda. But at the end of the day, the USDA came out with another report on Friday, and we got a little shocker again.
Boy, I guess you and I were talking, and we fireworks. Well, sometimes no, we really don't. We maybe get a little fireworks once in a while. Holy smokes! I ran out of matches.
Yeah, this fireworks was in the wrong direction. Yeah, shockingly, we had a pretty bearish all wheat production estimate out of that report Friday. We've seen production jump up 80 million bushels over and above the average trade guess what they were looking for, and the major increase, Terry, was in that hard red spring production. That was 55 million bushel compared to the August report. We had modest increases in the other classes, which are hard red winter, soft red winter, and soft white wheat. At the end of the day, it was 80 million higher, and of course the market took that, and we were down 38 cents on Friday. But as far as the corn goes, I mean, it was probably a somewhat friendly report. Ending stocks were a little bit below average, 91 million below, but in the soybeans stocks was a little bit higher, so 23 million more bushels than the average trade guess. So the soybeans probably berries. Corn, I figure, was neutral, but corn got dragged down with wheat and as well as soybeans. But we're getting some of it back today, Terry. Actually, right now we have cash wheat up 19, so we're getting half that 38 back today, and hopefully we get the other 19 back tomorrow, and we'll be at even par. And that's kind of the way the market kind of runs sometimes. So,
but right now, what do you have on the board?
Right now we're up 19 on cash wheat at 520 on the white, 450 on the red. New crop for next year is up 15, Terry, at 617 on the white, 542 on the red. Cash corn up a dime at 421 along with new crop, and cash and new crop soybeans up a couple at 1197.
You have a great day, Gary. Thanks a lot.
I will. You do the same. Thanks.
I will. Gary Kaufman over at Star of the West. A little bit more as far as what the markets are doing. Over to Oppenheimer we go with Doug Klein. The market report brought to you by Thumb Bank, serving the needs of agriculture for well over 125 years. And now they've got 13 locations throughout the Thumb and the Great Lakes Bay region. Thumb Bank, where relationships are built on trust. And by the folks at Schaefer and Beerline. Seasons are changing, and so is the new Ram truck inventory at Schaefer and Beerline. The heavy-duty 2023s are still coming in, and the 2024 1500s are arriving. So if you're in the market for a new Ram 1500, a Ram heavy-duty pickup, a ProMaster van, or a Ram commercial truck, and you want to buy with confidence from a business-linked dealer that knows what customer satisfaction truly is, then you should be shopping at Schaefer and Beerline in Frankenmuth, where family and service sells cars. Good morning, Doug Klein.
Good morning.
What are we looking at now?
Oh, boy. Well, crude is under $90. That's something, right? 89.15. So it's probably because we're still heading into a recession, but I don't know. The utilities are just getting absolutely smashed today. Detroit Edison down 5%. Consumers Energy down 5%. Nextera is really getting buried. They're down 9.5% today. Remember, they're the sort of kind of backers of all these green energy programs, especially the windmills around here. So Nextera Energy Partners is down 12% today. And they're sitting at about a third of what they were a year ago. So from 80 some dollars to $26 a share. It's kind of sort of unnerving, who's going to pay the bills when we expect our checks from the windmills. These are the guys that pay the bills and stuff like that. So it's a little bit, like I said, nerve-wracking on that front. Precious metals all going down today. Silver's getting pounded, 4.21% down. Platinum a couple percent. Copper a couple percent down. I've seen a lot of new lows in, again, the utilities. Certainly Newmont and the gold miners, they're hitting new lows today. So a lot of uncertainty out there. The world's sort of running out of optimism for anything that's sort of a falling knife. And that's kind of the way the markets have been. If everybody else is buying it, buy it with blind ambition, and if everybody's selling it or nobody's buying it, run away, because and that brings volatility. So anyway, after all that, here's your numbers. December corn 487.25, up 10.5. The March corn 502, up 10.25. The November soybeans unchanged at 1275. March soybeans 13.10 and a quarter, also unchanged. December wheat 5.60 and a quarter, up 18 and 3/4, and March wheat is 5.91 and a quarter, up 17 and 3/4. So the crude oil 89.16, down $1.63. Heating oil is 321.34, down 8 and 3/4 cents. Gasoline is 240 and a half, that's up a half a penny. Natural gas 286.10, that's down 6.5 cents. Over to currencies, Canadian dollar. US dollar buys $1.3664 Canadian. That's up 91 ticks. The dollar buys 149.79 yen. That's up 44 ticks. The euro's at 105.06, down 64 ticks. The dollar is at 106.80. That's up 68 ticks. Gold's at 1829.90, down 18.20. Silver's 21.45, down a buck. And platinum's at 886.50, down $20.30.
Happy fourth quarter.
Yeah. Right.
Doug, thanks.
Okay, yeah.
We'll talk to you again. Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. Let's slide quick over to find out what the New York markets are doing. We've got Steve Anderson from Baird and Company. Steve, just a quick report here. What is going on in New York right now?
Well, after listening to Doug, I have to sadly say we're kind of stepping in it here too a little bit. Markets are mixed, though, with the Dow Jones Industrial Average down 122, putting it at 33,384, and volume there is 283 million shares. The NASDAQ is down 70 up 70 at 13,289. Volume there is 329 million shares. That's what makes it mixed, is that the NASDAQ is up.
Yeah.
Dow Jones is down.
I guess. Stephen, Thank you very much. We really appreciate it. You take care. We'll talk to you again tomorrow. All right.
Well, that sounds really good to me. Looking forward to it.
All righty. Steve Anderson over at Baird and Company. We'll find out what's going on out in the farm fields. Vic Hupfer will be joining us from Freeland Bean and Grain in just a moment.
Looking for bigger, bolder, better yields? Look no further than FSC. FS Envision Seed Corn and FS High Soy Soybeans are here to change the game. Our seed products deliver winning results every single time. Your local FS crop specialist is ready to take your farm and yields to the next level. Ready to change the game with bin-busting yields at harvest? Reach out to your local FS retailer or visit fsc.com.
It's time to think about your pig. You know, the propane tank in your backyard that heats your home? Well, there's no better company to fill your pig than Forward Energy, covering 23 counties. Forward Energy is a family-owned and operated propane supplier that's been fueling area homes, farms, and businesses since 1925. Fill your pig this year. Visit forwardenergy.com to find out about new customer pricing and programs.
Go forward with Forward Energy.
Let's find out what's going on out and about. Vic Hupfer with Freeland Bean and Grain joining me right now. And Vic, varying amounts of harvest going on. Things still running a little bit late, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see us being extremely late, Terry. Looking at where we've looked at loads coming in the past years, we've had a few soybeans come in the month of September, but usually the first few days of October. We've seen some soybeans come in the last couple of days over the weekend, and the moistures are down, 12.5 to 13.5, 14 moisture soybeans. What was surprising to me is I've got a couple customers that actually got a couple fields finished, and we saw some yield results, and above 50 was pretty surprising. I was pretty happy to see that. With some of the mold issues and things that we battled through soybeans this year with all the wet weather, that was a pleasant surprise for the grower as well. He was pretty happy, satisfied with his yields that he said. Dry beans were probably over the hump. We're probably over 50% done with with our take for the season. Quality still ranging pretty good. You could see some moldy beans in there, and there's a little bit of sclerotia that's showing up. But for the most part, the quality is really good this year, and it looks like the yields are going to come in maybe average, maybe slightly above. It's a little disappointing, but we had a lot of issues with rain.
Yeah, and we really do need the beans this year, don't we?
Yes, we do. Shipments are strong starting out for the season. I don't really work that department. My brother Roger does. If people have questions, I'd encourage them to call him. We have had some contracts out there for $40. I don't think we have one current at this moment, but Roger's still working on more beans, so I would contact him if anybody has any interest there. As far as fertilizer sales, fertilizers are down. Grain markets have been dictating that to lower back considerably. Potash prices are down in the mid fours, which is a lot better than what we were last year. I would encourage people to take advantage of that this fall if they don't normally put potash on in the fall, just a way to get some of your workload done and capitalize on a little bit better price, because if grain markets go up, potash is going to go up. That's kind of a standard thing that happens with the industry today.
Yeah, I guess so.
Another thing I would recommend to people is those areas in the field where they know that they've got some issues, pH issues or things like that. Try to work on getting the lime done. There's no cheaper way to make a field better if you know that you got some issues out there with some light sandy ground that's maybe not producing the way it should, and maybe haven't limed in a while, or maybe haven't limed at all, and it definitely can make a big impact.
Very good. Victor, thank you so much. Really appreciate your time. Keep us posted, okay?
Will do, Terry. Thank you.
You betcha. Vic Huffer over at Freeland Bean and Grain. Let's touch base real quick with the apple industry, see what's going on. It is that time of the year. Sean Coughlin joining me right now from Baines. You guys, I bet, had a pretty busy weekend, Sean.
Terry, boy, I'll tell you, if I could take every weekend like that for the next 12 weeks, maybe we'd be able to expand a little more.
Oh, that is something else. The varieties that are available right now, pretty much limitless.
They're getting to be that way. We're going to be going and picking up a whole bunch of apples this week. Fuji's are coming soon. Fuji's and Jonathan's and Mutsu are going to be getting picked this week. Fuji's and Spies are going to be getting picked next week.
Okay.
Mutsu this week, and Jonathan's going to be new to the store. Yeah.
All right. So at this stage of the game, looks like we got some pretty good apples to make some caramel apples and pies and all sorts of stuff, right?
Tell you, one of the best things is to come and watch the girls make the caramel apples. We've got a wonderful crew this year. We've got an employee that's been with us quite a long time behind the caramel apple bar and heads up the bakery, and it's just something to watch their expertise, and it's fun to if a little kid wants to get back there and possibly make their own. If we have the time, we'll do that for them too. That's what makes it fun.
Fantastic. Sean Coughlin, thank you so much. You take care. Have a great day, okay?
Thank you, Terry. You
betcha. Sean Coughlin over at Baines. Yeah, you want to get some work done outdoors, in the front yard and the backyard? Jerry Samolsky, Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville. What a beautiful weekend, Jerry.
Well, it sure was, Terry. I know I got a lot done. Matter of fact, I finished up a project at my home that's been going on for the last few months, so we got it wrapped up. So, gosh, this time of year, Terry, it's fertilizing your lawn, fertilizing your trees and shrubs. And it's kind of funny, but weeding now, if you get the weeds going now, you're going to be so much better next spring. So make sure you put your beds together clean. I think sometimes when you cut back perennials and whatnot, you cut back the weeds along with it, not paying attention, leaving the roots in there, and then you start off in a bad position. So getting the weeds out right now is a good time. So yeah, just there's so much you can do and just be out in the beautiful weather we've got. It's a great time to be a gardener.
Boy, it sure is. Jerry, take care. We'll talk to you again tomorrow. All right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Jerry Samolsky, Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville. Let's get down to business a little bit here. Eric Sawatsky with Yo and Yo Accounting joining me right now. Eric, I am real curious because we've heard all about it again and again and again. Give us an update on those student loans, okay?
Sure, Terry. Obviously, we were hearing a lot about having student loans forgiven for a while there, and then there was actually a court case that said that that the president and the executive branch didn't have the authority. So at this point, student loans actually are resuming. So payments haven't been due on a lot of student loans since probably 2020, when pause has been put on during COVID. In the last few years, it's been extended and extended. So at this point, starting September 1st, student loan interest is accruing again and payments are due in most cases. So if you do have outstanding student loans, it's good to go take a look at that, make sure you're making those payments. But then I also wanted to point towards a nice tool on studentaid.gov. And basically, there are 4 different student loan repayment plans that you can apply for. And there's a nice tool on that website that you can kind of compare and contrast. There's all kinds of options from paying over a 10-year period and paying less interest to extending that up to 25 years if it's more affordable for you. So it's a nice tool to kind of take a look at your situation and decide the best structure for your repayment going forward.
And again, where is that, Eric?
It's studentaid.gov.
All right. Very good information. We appreciate it. You take care, Eric. Have a great day.
You too, Terry.
All righty. Eric Sawatsky, Yo and Yo Accounting. Are you upset with your current planter performance? Are you considering buying a new planter but blown away from sticker shock? With Precision Planting's VSET, V-Drive, and Delta Force, we can retrofit your old planter to outperform any new planter on the market. Then access all your data from planting to harvest easily with Field View. Call PC Ag Solutions today and get your parts ordered, installed, and ready to go for the upcoming growing season. 989-868-4444. PC Ag Solutions. Again, the reminder, crop progress report coming out today. We'll have a little bit more information on that tomorrow. A lot more coming up here at the end of, at 12:30. So stick around for a market update. Now we conclude our program with the playing of our national anthem.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW